for a first home win of the season at last, I get that smell probably says as much as anything you can say in response to this, but how does that feel?
Yeah, I must be the only coach that didn't want to really play at home. You know, the form that we've had over the last 18 months, 2 years, but so hopefully it's the monkey off his back. Hopefully it's because obviously we've got some remaining games at home. We like to finish with a bit of a flurry, so yeah, look, it's great to win at home. Great to give the loyal fans something to sing about, because obviously they're here every week cheering us on, so it were nice to actually get a home victory as opposed to an away one for once.
We'll often joke about it now. Have you felt an anxiety at all on people coming into home games?
Not really, no. It's probably more the outside noise more than anything else, but obviously it's something that I've noticed. It's, you know, you can't not notice it. It should be an home fort. You know, when you play at home, it should be a bit of a fortress where, you know, teams don't want to come, and when we get wins, and that's not been the case. But hopefully, like I say, we can hopefully change that. And I thought in the game, what we're really proud at most of all is the first 10-15 minutes, because they had the majority of the ball, they had the majority of possession, and it had been very, very easy for us to fold, but we stuck at it. We played tough rugby. Tough rugby is just continually showing up for each other, continually getting on the front foot, kicking the ball in the pocket and defending like mad. And I thought we did that, and we stemmed the tide. It could have been very easy for them to go up, but we didn't. We stuck at it. And after that, if I'm honest, I thought we had full control of the game. There was one moment where actually, you know, there's been a lot of games this year where we've been winning at half time, and a lot of games in the second half where they come back and score, and I've been extremely nervous, and I wasn't today. They weren't one part of them, they were nervous.
Like you say, a lot of hard work, a lot of good efforts in there, and then on top of that, what George does to win it for you.
Oh, look, I think George is a fabulous young player. You know, he's great. He's getting better and better each and every week, and he's been great for us. It always helps when I thought the forwards were really good today. You know, they got, look, as a young fullback, young spine member. Once again, I said to the lads, we lost two of his most experienced players at all. We lost Swift, we lost Tue. To anybody else, it'd be a big deal, but for us, it just feels like water for ducks back, if I'm honest, because we're so used to it this year. We went in with another half-back partnership for the first time in Frawls and Rush, who I thought controlled the game extremely well. Although George got man of the match, and probably rightly so, I thought the forwards were immense, but if we didn't have Frawls playing today, I would have been sat in front of you exactly the same as I was for the first 8 or 9 games of the season, saying we tried really hard, we put loads of effort in, we put the foundations in, we had nobody controlling the game. When you lose Clooney, lose Tue, you know, Niall's obviously an experienced fullback, all of a sudden to throw Frawls in there, I thought he was brilliant in the way that he just controlled us. And if we'd have had him or Clooney or one of them at the beginning of the year, I think we'd have won a lot more games than we lost.
If you're looking at Kieran Rush playing his next run of games, is it going to be good for him to be playing alongside someone like
Yeah, very much so. Look, I think I spoke to Kez about what his role is going to be. You know, I think he's a really good 14. I think he's somebody that can come on and cover 9. He can cover half. You know, probably can't put him in much more of the outside backs, but he gives you a fair bit of cover as Kez. But at this moment in time, with the injuries we've got, and obviously all his spine out, then he's going to get a run. I think he showed today that he's capable of that. I think he's a little bit more equipped, if I'm honest, to be a 9 at the moment. I think that's his more natural position, should we say. But you know, he showed today that he can definitely fill in and do a really good job, and you know, hopefully he'll be better for it with this run of games.
I think this is also the first time you've had back-to-back wins this season. I want to say. Despite the fact you've had disruption in between on the 2-week gap as well. You're building a bit of form.
Yeah, look, I think we've been building. I said all along that we'd be building at the back end of the year, and obviously we won at Hull. We had a blip against Wakefield, but before that, I think we won 2 out of 4. You know, as forms actually, if you look over the last sort of 6 games or 5 games, whatever it may be, that we've actually started to build up momentum, and it obviously helps when you're playing the same or a similar team each. Well, having the opportunity to pick a similar team each and every week to build a bit of consistency. But yeah, look, with back-to-back wins, yeah, it feels nice.
You're level on points with Cass, like 2 off Catalan now. You've given yourself something to play for these final games.
There's always something to play for. I've said it all along. Anybody who plays for me, anybody who plays for this club, and plays for the fans, that there's always something to play for. We want to finish as high up the league table as possible. It's very easy to just not throw the towel in, but to say that the season's over. It's never over, really. We want to finish in a flurry, build some momentum, so hopefully we can go into next season. We can make sure we don't have the same injury crisis we've had this year, and actually really, really, build some momentum. Yeah, going into next year.
Would you say that's your best performance of the season?
No. I'm going to contradict myself here. I thought, there's been some other performances that have been really good, at Magic and at Warrington. But in some aspects, the reason I don't think it were an amazing game as a spectacle, but we probably had the most control that we've had in any game, and the manner in which we actually came out of that first 10-15 minutes is probably the best. We probably showed the most mental resilience and actual toughness in any other game, but as a spectacle as a whole, I probably wouldn't say no.
In terms of confidence, though, it must be really high now compared to what it was a few months ago.
Oh, look, very much. So, like I said before, it'd be very easy for, like I said, we lost Swift, we lost Tui again, but the players don't seem to react to losing anybody anymore. It's a bit like, who's next in? We're used to it, where we know how to do it now in this environment. And I thought, look, it's been a bit of baptisms of fire for some of the younger lads. George played more games than he probably expected and flourished, and Kieran Rush has played more games than potentially he would have done. He's flourished, so it's promising moving forward.
And for you personally as a coach, it must be good to sort of see some of the fruits of your labours.
Yeah, a little bit. I sort of like it as a little bit to Hull had a torrid time last year. They ended up having to blood a lot of youngsters, and I think they've been better for it this season. Obviously, it's not nice when you're going through it, but the experience that each and every one of the younger lads, that have played this year, will be better next year. So, yeah. But we don't want to think about the next year too much at the present. We want to concentrate on this year still and put some performance in this year.